shooting. They do not know anything else.
Okay, I'll give it to you from there. None.
Probably live already.
We live, y'all. We live.
I'm not recording yet.
Y'all ready?
Hunter,
Y'all ready?
is he in your shot still? Just waiting on him.
Yeah, that's all right.
We ready? Yes, no, maybe so.
Yeah. Nick, you ready? Yes.
Talk to me.
Focus. Test 1 2 test.
Okay. In focus. Now I'm not going to
Can you give us 1 minute? I'm sorry,
Sure.
we're having some technical issues. Where's
Yeah. 30 seconds. You ready?
Sorry, give us 1 second.
Oh, sure.
We had a bad cord, so
Oh, sorry.
Ooh,
Good catch, man. You looked out.
Had a bad camera.
Gold star for the day.
We almost had an even bigger technical issue.
Yes.
We have him.
Okay. So, sir, you are live on some of the feeds already.
Okay. How you doing, man? I like that tie, man. You always tight when I see you, man.
Tried it. Appreciate it.
You represent.
You're still in it.
I know.
Okay.
Moving forward till we're all ready to go. Like being able
Who we
to
waiting
see
on, Louis?
everything.
Oh,
Yeah.
Fox 8.
Replacing our board. So when you guys went to school to do this, did you guys know that 90% of the job was just hurrying up and then waiting? Like, is that what they
You
taught
learned
you?
pretty quick.
Hurry up and wait. Yeah.
We good?
Everybody doing things fast and then wait for now.
That's what I tell my students.
It's the truth.
Cord working now?
Now we're solving issues. We'll just go.
You sure? We ready? First of all, good morning. I appreciate you all being here, taking time. Just want to update you, let you know what happened out here today. This morning, approximately about 8:12, 8:30, somewhere along those timelines, the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office received a call for service. Deputy arrived. The investigation took him to where we are now, Oak Valley Road. As a result of that, when the deputy got here, the deputy met with a suspect. Altercation ensued. Suspect assaulted the deputy. Suspect barricaded himself in the house. Extra resources was called, barricaded suspect. They made entry into the house. Upon making entry into the house, suspect attacked the deputy. Shots were fired. One shot was fired at the suspect. Unfortunately, that shot was a lethal shot. The suspect is deceased. The SBI has assumed the investigation. As you know, that anytime there's a law enforcement involved shooting, the SBI comes in and conducts the investigation. Currently, the SBI is conducting the investigation. It's an ongoing investigation. I wanted to brief you, update you, let you know that until we notify the family of the deceased, we can't and we won't release his name. I will say it is a he. but we won't release his name until we have notified the family. Any questions that you may have,
Can we have age, race of the suspect?
well, I can tell you the race. It was a white male. I will tell you that. The age, I know approximate age. I don't know the exact age, but I will tell you it was a white male, approximately in their 40s. And as I said, it's an ongoing investigation. You know, as always, you know, we give our condolences, but as we always say, we will serve and protect the community. We will always do what is right and what is legal as we serve throughout this community. And that's where we at.
Can you say exactly where the suspect was shot at?
I can't release all of that, but unfortunately, it was a lethal shot. As I said, the suspect is deceased.
Do you know, you mentioned he was a suspect. Was the deputy serving papers, or what was he doing?
Well, there were outstanding warrants on him. The deputy received call for service in our communication systems. Once they got there, they brought him to this location, and once they got here, suspect assaulted the deputy. A fight ensued between the deputy and the suspect.
What kind of weapons did the suspect have?
Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you the particulars. I'm going to give you an overview of what happened as it relates to the particulars of the timeline and all of that. I'll let our public information handle that. But as it relates to the weapon, it was a lethal weapon. As I said, it's an ongoing investigation, and I can't go into all the particulars of it because it is an ongoing investigation involving an officer. And I can't put anything out there knowing that it's an ongoing investigation by the SBI.
Was there anyone inside the house, and was that his home?
It was. Someone else was inside the house.
I know you said you can't release any particular details. Can you say maybe what kind of warrants he did have?
Well, I can't go into all of that, but I'm sure you have systems. Once you get his name, you'll probably find it out. But if I start narrowing it down and you answer some of those questions, eventually you'll put me in a box.
And
so,
Sheriff, is the deputy on administration leave?
Of course.
Administrative leave now?
of course.
You said there was someone else in the house. Was that person injured or there?
No one else was injured in the house. No one else was injured. There was only one shot fired. One shot was only fired.
Was the other person in the house a blood relative of this individual?
That I don't know. That I don't know. All I can tell you is there was another person in the house that lived in the house with him. Blood relative, I don't know the relationship that between those two.
And to just be clear, because there were some rumors, no one was held hostage at all, correct?
Again, without going into all the details, because I said it's an ongoing investigation, and without going into the particulars of it, the who, what, when, where, and why, I have to be somewhat generic with it because it is an ongoing investigation, and I wanted to give you guys just an overview of what has taken place this morning so that you would know that all this personnel and resources out here that were out here earlier, what's going on, because we want to let you know to prevent the rumor mill that we do have one person in our community who is deceased, who was shot by one of our Forsyth County deputies.
Does he live there?
Yes,
A neighbor told me that,
her neighbor, right?
right, somebody in the neighborhood said that the individual attacked the deputy with a hammer. Is that correct?
Well, here's what I would tell you. I wasn't there. I can't release any information, as I said, because it's an ongoing investigation. But I'm sure once the investigation is complete, we will, as always, transparency, we will give you all of that. But right now, I cannot release any information because it is an ongoing investigation. And the SBI trumps me, and I don't want you to be interviewing me for violating the SBI policy and law.
And Sheriff, what's going on behind you right now? What's this going to look like for the rest of the day?
So the rest of the day is, because it is a shooting, someone is deceased. The protocol is the SBI has to investigate it. They're interviewing the persons that were involved in it, all parties that were involved in it. It is a scene. They're gathering all of the the facts and everything, the evidence. Once they finish, they would turn it over to the sheriff's office. We will simultaneously do what we do in terms of an internal investigation, making sure that everything was followed, policies and procedures. And at that time, the district attorney gets all of that information. The district attorney decides the findings.
And then this part of the road is closed off for now?
It is. This road,
watching.
yes, this part, good question, thank you. This part of the road will be closed off for probably some time because once the SBI finishes, the sheriff's office, IA and the investigative team has to do their investigation as well to make sure that, as I said, everything is policies and procedures.
Will you be issuing notice when the road does reopen?
Of course we will. I'll have Mrs. Howell, and we'll definitely notify the outlets, the media outlets, that the road is open. But currently it is closed.
We've seen a lot of talk on social media about this already today. I mean, what's your message to the community, to the public at this time?
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate my message to the community is that I know that we're entering into the summer months. I know that there's something about the summer. There's something about the heat. What I will tell people is that we're here to ensure that everybody is safe in this community. We're here to serve and protect. And all that we're asking is help us do that. Help us keep this community safe. Because at the end of the day, we're in this together. You know, our guys wake up every morning with the same mindset. They just want to serve, protect, and go home. And so I appreciate the community, the support that you have shown us and continue to show us. I can assure you, as always, we will always be transparent with you. We will always give you the facts as they happen, and that is why I'm giving you what I'm giving you now. And I appreciate you asking that. And so I'll let Ms. Howell give you the particulars as it relates to the call up till what took place prior to the shot being fired. And I appreciate y'all.
I'll get these two, just to keep the wires.
Got a whole statement for y'all. Yeah, I was gonna say, could I have a mic view? Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
This is Fox's. That's mine.
Sheriff, just double check there's no threat to the public, right?
Exactly. There's no threat to the public. Good question.
Is that yours?
Probably. Yeah, that's mine.
There's no threat to the public.
Okay.
How do you want to do this?
I don't know. I did not wear pants today that have all the pockets, so this is going to be fun.
Do you think we could clip it to the back of your shirt collar?
Yes.
To your waist.
Yeah, I've got waistband.
Here you go. We don't even. I can run it up over your shoulder if that's okay with you.
Yep, that's fine. Good. And I'll step close to you and we can. This one. Go right ahead. It's okay. We can run it up and under. I'll say we can run up and under. Nobody's live right now.
Good.
Right? Nobody's
I'm
live
seeing
right
it.
now. Thanks.
I don't know what we're gonna do with this one. You might have to hold that one.
Does it not have a clip?
Doesn't have a clip.
I have a pocket.
Wait. Oh yeah, there you go. You got another one on that side.
I
Here you
do.
More for you.
Perfect.
Now we'll run that around the back.
Okay. Cool.
Did you think this was happening today?
No. No.
Can't forget our mic.
I'm pretty sure that it's number
Is
2,
there
right?
one on there?
Yeah,
Number 2, yeah, I got it.
Yeah, it's the one that looks like it's being
Awesome.
dragged behind your truck.
You're welcome. I'm gonna run you under as
I'm
well.
gonna try to block the wind as much as I can.
Can't. Can you clip this one? I can't see to know where there's empty space.
You want it on the inside or out?
Like 5 minutes.
I know.
Yours is gonna let that in chair.
I'm ready.
Cool. And I will go ahead and start by not starting the statement, but just so you all know, I know he said there were several things that he couldn't discuss because of the SBI. Part of the delay in getting everything was I was getting with the SBI and making sure that everything we could release was releasable. So I have a few more details than he had because I spoke to the SBI. Are you good? Are we waiting on anybody?
Everybody good?
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. So I'm Christina Howe, the Public Affairs Manager for the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office. This morning we received a call for service on a welfare check for a man sleeping in his car at approximately 8:12 a.m. this morning in the 2000 block of Valleydale Lane in Kernersville. We'll let them go. You guys going?
You can go this
You can go that way.
I'm sorry, we in your way.
You're fine. Go that way.
Yeah, you gotta go this way.
Thank you.
How do you spell the road name?
Someone's
Valleydale, Valleydale. Cool. All right. So we received a call for service on a welfare check for a man sleeping in his car at approximately 8:12 a.m. this morning in the 2000 block of Valleydale Lane in Kernersville. The man had been in the car since around 7 a.m. The car, a white Ford Fusion, was running, and the man was not responding when local residents were banging on the car windows. The man woke up and drove away. A responding deputy was able to locate him on Old Valley School Road. When he was found by the deputy, the man fled on foot. The deputy did catch up to the man, and the man physically assaulted the deputy and was able to get away. He ran into his nearby house and barricaded himself inside. The suspect's significant other was in the house at that time and was texting the neighbors that he would not let her out, meaning that this turned into a barricaded subject with a hostage situation. THRAT, our Tactical High Risk Apprehension Team, was called to the scene along with our crisis negotiators. Out of an abundance of caution, deputies evacuated the nearby houses. The barricaded subject was identified as an individual who had multiple outstanding orders of arrest from Guilford County. The THRAT team arrived and gave multiple orders for the subject to come out. He refused to comply and barricaded himself inside a room inside the house along with his significant other. The decision was made that THRAT should breach the door and make entry. Upon entering, the subject came at deputies with a sledgehammer. Deputies attempted to utilize their tasers unsuccessfully. One deputy fired a single shot. Deputies immediately began rendering aid to the man and performed life-saving measures until EMS arrived. The man was transported to a local hospital where he was declared deceased. The hostage was unharmed during this incident. In our continued commitment to transparency, we have invited the State Bureau of Investigation to independently investigate this incident. We will fully cooperate with them and assist them in any way possible. We will also complete an administrative investigation, as we do with every use of force within our agency, and that is to ensure that policy was followed. The deputy involved in the shooting has been placed on administrative leave. This is our standard procedure. The deputy will be cooperating with the investigations during this time. We will also be utilizing our resources to meet the deputy's emotional and mental health needs. We will not be releasing the identity of the deputy at this time. It is no small thing to take a man's life, even if it is ultimately to protect the lives of others. So we will continue to provide updated information as it's confirmed and available for release. Any further questions?
Can you give timelines on when he went to the house, when the door was kicked in, when the shooting took place?
I do not have that with me, but I will look that up and get back to you. Anything else? All right, thank you all.